guys, it's Dana and it's time to talk about money, and in this video we are going to talk about a recession. Is it coming and how to prepare for it? So let's get to it. All right, now listen, everywhere I turn, everything is like, is a recession coming? In the news, there are layoffs, it's market instability, stock market is crashing, all this volatility right now, right? Trade wars going on, tariff war. So it's kind of like unsettling, to say the least, for a lot of us, no matter where you lean politically, right? This is not a political video. This is, talking about our finances. How can we be best prepared? Because nobody can predict the future. It's impossible to know, right, what's going to happen. So, but as we invest our money, we're trying to make smart choices. We're trying to build up our retirement or our college savings for our kids, or just build up our emergency fund, pay off our house. We're all trying to do what's best financially for ourselves and for our families, and we want to be best prepared to protect our money as well, that we've worked so hard to earn and to save. So let's really get into that. So during a recession, job losses become more commonplace. I've talked about before, my company recently did layoffs. I'm hearing a lot of people being laid off. So you start to get a little bit uneasy. And so in that case, obviously an emergency fund is incredibly important. It's always important, right? We're always talking about it on my channel. But if you don't have an emergency fund, now is the time, especially if you haven't lost your job, you've still got your income. Now's the time to really start beefing up that emergency fund, even to the point maybe you want to start paying minimum payments on your debt to sort of beef up that emergency fund a bit to make sure that you can afford your basic necessities, basic expenses if you were to lose your job. So in that case, I highly recommend building up your emergency fund, putting as much as you can into it. Now, the more cash reserves that we have, then the less likely we all are to reach for a credit card in tough times. So that's one of the reasons why I suggest the emergency fund and having a hefty cash reserve during uncertain times to help to prevent yourself from going deeper into debt and into despair during difficult times. Next is to cut unnecessary expenses. Anything that you don't need, I would suggest cutting just in preparation in case, times get tough. Then you want to cut down everything you can so that you have more money to begin to build up those cash reserves that we just talked about. So what are some things you can cut? Subscriptions, membership, dining out, entertainment, right? Any unnecessary entertainment that you don't need, cut that out of your life. I know it can be a little bit painful, but it's even more painful to be struggling to pay your mortgage or your rent or put food on the table. Try to set a 24-hour rule for impulse purchases, meaning that if there's something that you really want to buy, then maybe stick it in your cart, your Amazon cart, your virtual cart, and leave it there for 24 hours. Don't purchase it right away. Don't make any purchases unless you've had 24 hours to think about it. That way you can be sure you really want to spend the money on whatever that item is. I would suggest prioritizing high interest debt during this time. So usually, you do either the debt snowball or the debt avalanche method when you're paying off debt. Snowball is the smallest balance to the largest balance. Debt avalanche is the highest interest to the lowest interest. So if you are trying to prepare for a recession, then you might want to switch towards your higher interest debt to be sure that it's not accruing. Interest rates also are variable. Your interest rate might go up. So, just get those higher interest rates out, those debts out as soon as you can, if you can. Diversify your income streams. This is always important, to be diversifying, to be thinking about some other ways that you can either be improving your mind, growing your skills, learning new things, or trying to find some other kind of side hustles, something on the side where you can, I like to at least have two, right? So you might have your main job and then you have something on the side that you could potentially increase your hours with if you needed to, just to kind of hedge your bets and be sure that you have some form of income coming in. I did a whole separate video talking all about side hustle ideas. So if you want to check that out, I'll put it down below in the description. So you want to stay invested. It's very tempting, like when you are highly invested in something and you start to see, the the stock price going down that you just are like, oh my God, I got to get out of here before it hits rock bottom. So, but hopefully you have an investment advisor who can kind of talk you off the ledge. I'm still contributing to my retirement accounts at the same percentage that I always have. I try to not look at it too much. If you're closer to retirement age, this is different. You might need to be looking at it more, but I just am going to continue contributing. I'm in my 40s. I'm going to continue to contribute, and I highly suggest talking to an investment advisor about this. If you don't have one, then maybe ask around, ask some people who they're using. It's just something that takes a little bit of time to find the right person for you, make sure they feel right, that you're comfortable with them. You feel like you can ask them as many questions as you want to without feeling like they're treating you like you're an idiot. That's very important. And don't just take someone's advice and go with them. It has to be, because what's right for them might not be right for you. My mother uses certain people and they're great for her, and I've interviewed them, talked to them, they're not great for me. So it's kind of, like I said, people that you are aligned with, family members, people you love, you're very similar to, their people might not be your people. And that's very important to know that you just have to find the right person for you. So try to strengthen your job security. And what I mean by this is, if you are working in a job, I believe it's important to be open to learning new skills, to be trying to learn new skills, learn new software, and to be willing to do whatever. What I've noticed is that it's important to, if you're somebody who's like, no, that's not my job, I'm not doing that, I don't want to do that. And I understand, like, there's frustration because maybe you feel like you're being piled on and like work is being given to you that isn't really part of your job description. But during difficult times when layoffs are happening, who do you think is probably going to be on the list? People who are difficult. If they ask you, this is another thing which is very difficult right now, but if you work from home and they're asking you to come back into the office and you are pushing back and being very angry about it, that actually happened in my office with someone who really, if you don't want to come back to the office, then they might be like, well, you're on the list then, and you're going to be, I'm sorry, but we're going to be eliminating your position. Okay. So so being flexible and open and willing, and during difficult times, during especially recession times and layoffs are happening, it's important to be open to new things, new opportunities, new job duties, working with different people. I had to switch seats, sitting in a different spot in the office, or losing your seat completely, or having to move from working from home to into the office and you're not happy about it. You can be unhappy about it, but I'd say be unhappy about it with your family members and your best friends, not with your boss or your coworkers, because news that's going to spread and that's going to hurt your reputation in the office. But continuously be trying to learn new things, new job skills. That way you're more marketable to other companies. If you're really unhappy there, then that's fine too. Like, if you're unhappy, keep it to yourself, talk to your family members, do what you got to do at work, but then start looking for something else. Start applying to different jobs. Maybe you can find an even better job that pays higher and you like it better. But you don't want to burn your bridge. I'm always telling my youngest daughter, don't burn your bridge with friends, even at school, because you never know when that person might pop up in your life again, and you don't want to have a wicked fight with them at school in 5th grade and tell them you hate them and don't like them and they annoy you, and then 10 years later you see them and you do something with them in some capacity, or you need them for some reason. So just don't burn your bridge with people, right? You can slowly drift away, but don't burn your bridges. That's what I say. Same thing at work. Don't burn your bridge with your company or with people you work with. No matter how, even if you really can't stand them, don't like them, and they make you crazy, it's like, complain to someone else and don't take it out. Don't let them know that. Just try to keep it to yourself, and then work your plans on the side, and leave when you can. Enough about that. Okay, if you need to make a big purchase, I would suggest delaying it at this time, right? If there's going to be a recession, then possibly it's not the right time to go out and pick up a brand new car, okay? Or, upgrade your house to something bigger maybe at this time, right? So any kind of really large purchase, you might want to wait. If you were thinking about furniture, you need a whole new living room set or a new mattress, or you just, maybe now's not the time, right? Or fancy landscaping jobs, all those things. So this is the time to sort of in my opinion, if there's going to be a recession, you want to sort of hoard your cash, hold on to it, and delay any kind of very large purchase until times are a little bit more stable. We know what's going on, you know what's going on, and it's going to be like okay for the foreseeable future. You know you're not going to be laid off from your job. Just hold off on those big purchases. So during difficult financial times, I think it's important to be proactive, not reactive. So try to proactively work on your finances and try, so that way you have some feeling of control in an uncontrollable environment, because nobody can control what's going to happen with the economy, with the stock market, with the housing market. So we have to just try to do the best that we can, be proactive to save money and to not invest in high risk areas or stocks. I would say day trading, you know, if you're just investing in single stocks, probably this is not the time to do that unless you're extremely experienced. Even extremely experienced people can lose money that way, a lot of money. So I just say, you know, this time right now, it's like, let's try to just proactively try to prepare as best we can and not react quickly, and hopefully that way it'll help to us all to sort of weather difficult financial times and make it through to the other side. And if you look historically, this has happened in the past, and you know it ebbs and flows. So this is not like this is not a new event, right? Even I think about COVID and how scary that was to go through a global pandemic. And when that was all announced and people were being sent home from the office, and I thought, man, oh my gosh, like this is it. Like is this the end? Like what's going on? But it was just, you know, we just went home, just sort of day by day took it. And I think and I'm like, well, okay, we made it through a global pandemic, which I never thought as something that I would face in my lifetime. And so, you know, things happen and we have to do our best not to freak out and to try to stay, you know, try to do our best to take it one day at a time. Okay, so let me know how you are preparing for a possible recession. I'm sure you have some great ideas, even better than mine perhaps, so leave them down below in the comments. And let me know whether you think a recession is coming and your thoughts on that too. I'm open to those discussions down below in the comments, and I find it interesting a lot of times to have some back and forth, so it's all good. And if you guys are interested in figuring out how to find ways to locate a side hustle for yourself, different ideas, I'll go ahead and link a video here that I did talking all about side hustles, ideas, and also side hustles to avoid, which I think is important as well. So if you do, I'll see you there in that video. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye guys.